who's this you have with you?
Oh, this is my pup, Tupelo.
Oh, it's so
She
cute.
loves getting in my interviews. Oh, I
We've got Halloween Havoc on Wednesday. It sounds so perfect for you. Oh, how did you react when you heard NXT were reviving the Halloween Havoc name?
I was, I, that's my favorite pay-per-view. So I was really excited just that it was coming back. But when they told me that I was hosting it, I could not believe it. I was like, wow, NXT gets me. Like, before wrestling, all I ever wanted to do was be a horror host. Like, I'm obsessed with horror movies and I'm obsessed with everything spooky. So I was just like, oh, I could die now. Like, this is the happiest I've ever been.
Oh, what can we expect from you as a host? Will you be bringing like a full Elvira kind of Rhonda Shear vibe to it?
Yeah, I definitely want to pay tribute to like Elvira, Vampira, all the great horror hosts. Like, so you'll see a lot of that vibe. But I also have like 4 different costume changes. I'm going all out.
I can imagine. Are you someone that usually dresses up as Halloween, or are you someone that doesn't like to dress up?
Oh, I love dressing up. I love it all. Like I carve the pumpkins, I dress up, I go all out. Like my costume's always really important to me. So yeah, definitely dressing up.
What's the best Halloween costume you've ever done?
I was Greta Gremlin one year. I thought it was perfect with the green hair. I painted myself all green for it. It was a pain in the butt, but probably my favorite costume.
So do you have any like favorite spooky Halloweeny WWE wrestling moments?
Favorite spooky WWE moments? I don't know. Like I'm a big Kane fan and everything he does is spooky. Big Undertaker fan, everything he does is spooky. But like my favorite Halloween Havoc moment, my favorite match of all time is Rey Mysterio and Eddie Guerrero, Halloween Havoc 97. So it's really awesome to be hosting Halloween Havoc now when my favorite match was in Halloween Havoc.
Yeah, yeah. So at the show, we're going to see the spin the wheel, make a deal matches. Are there any of those that you're most excited for? What would you like to see happen?
I'm all for gimmick matches. Like, I love when weapons are involved. I love stipulations. So anything on there, I would totally love to see. Sorry, my dog is squeaking in the background.
It's so cute.
Come here, baby. Yeah, I love stipulation matches. So I would love to see any of them. Like, I love seeing the girls. I would love to see them maybe in like a broiler room match. Sounds really fun. Or a weapons wild match, or a biker chain match. Like I want to see it all. I wish that every match at Halloween Havoc had a stipulation on Spin the Wheel.
You could try, as the host, you could try and make that happen.
I tried. But I guess I gotta tone it down a little bit.
If you had to pick a costume for your dear friend Robert Stone, what would you like to see him dressed as for Halloween?
Well, first I would make him put on socks.
Yes.
But man, he would be a really good, I don't know. anything that isn't what he usually wears. But he's kind of, I don't know. I would put him in like a really silly, like big giant pumpkin costume.
I think that would work. So you have such a unique look with your tank and your helmet and everything. How did you come up with that, and what influenced it?
Well, the tank or the helmet. The helmet came first. It was my friend who got me into wrestling. He's in a band called Arno Core, and they like come out and they like wear helmets, and like I always thought it was like cool look. And when I started training, there was this helmet that was on the wall at the warehouse that I trained at, and every day I would look at the helmet. And when I was finally having my debut match, I asked my trainers, I was like, hey, I've always noticed that helmet on the wall. Do you think I can have it? And so it was kind of like a graduation cap for me when I started wrestling. So it just kind of became a thing. And then the tank kind of came along with the helmet. I felt like tank girl. So I was like, you know what? I need a tank. So I just got one day. I saw one at Walmart. It was a 2-seater for 2 children. I'm like the size of 2 kids. I can fit in that. So that's really all it is.
You haven't really changed your gimmick much from when you were on the Indies, but how has the transition to WWE been for you?
It's been really easy and really fun. I was actually really worried that I would have to change everything. And, everyone was kind of in my ear being like, oh, you're going to have to change yourself. And I came in and they were like open arms with everything that I was already doing. And they just get me there. It's just so nice that they're just like, yeah, do you. So yeah, it's been very easy. It just it was very seamless and just felt like meant to be. Yeah, I feel like I'm at where I'm supposed to be.
Yeah. You did have an experience before being on Tough Enough. What was that like, and what did you kind of learn and grow in between those years?
I was probably a year into wrestling when I was on Tough Enough, and I kind of just found out that I needed to put more work in. It was very inspiring. But I got that first taste of WWE, and I just was like, you know what, I'm not gonna bang on their door anymore. I'm just gonna go on the indies and make as much noise as I can, and then this time they're gonna be hitting me up. So that's kind of what happened. I just inspired me to do what I can on the indies to get noticed again.
When you were getting noticed on the Indies, you did quite a few intergender matches, and you seemed like quite vocally supportive of that. Has your opinion on that changed at all?
No, I'm still very supportive of intergender wrestling, and I'm still a big advocate for it. I love it, and I think that someday, maybe not someday super duper soon, we'll see intergender wrestling in WWE. Right now a lot of people are against it, and we have we have to keep an image up, but yeah, I think that someday it'll come around to where intergender wrestling will be the normal.
Yeah. And what was your experience like earlier this year being in the Royal Rumble?
Oh, it's still unbelievable to me. It's been almost a year and I'm still like, wow, I cannot believe that happened. And it just happened so fast. I was told that I was in the Rumble the night before. So it was a lot. It was overwhelming, but just so much fun and unreal to step out and be like, wow, there's so many people in the audience right now, and I'm in the Royal Rumble.
Who were you most excited about to be in the ring with that night?
Oh, I'm a big Beth Phoenix. I love Beth. And she was still in the ring when I got in there, because I was pretty late on the number count, but she was still in there, and I was so excited because I'm a huge Beth fan. So I did get in there with her a little bit. So that was really, really cool. And you know, like I was like, ah, like a giddy little schoolgirl.
Who is some of the women that you look up to in wrestling, and is there anyone that's really helped you a lot?
Um, I'm a big Asuka fan. I'm a big Mickie James fan. If I could just get in the ring with them at some point, that would be really, really cool. Man, there's so many, especially like on our roster that I look up to. Lita obviously was a huge influence. Bull Nakano. Man, there's so many. I can't even think of them all right now.
And you're such an energetic performer. How have you found like this past year adjusting to not having the full audience watching you?
It's been really, really hard. But like while I'm doing my entrance, I kind of notice it a little bit. Once I step into the ring, it's not that difficult. Like I definitely miss the crowd. So I think it'll be strange when they do come back and we have like a full crowd and they're loud and energetic. But I'm super energetic in myself. So I'm really good at finding energy within myself. But I miss the crowd. I miss the crowd so much. I miss the roar. I miss the noise. I miss the chaos.
And so the NXT women's roster, it's always been so stacked. What do you think they kind of need next? Do you think they should bring in tag team belts or anything to just give the women a bit more?
Yeah, I'm all for tag teams. Like I was trained by a tag team. So yes, I wish that they would implement that more because there's so many awesome women's wrestlers on our roster right now, and we definitely could create some really badass tag teams. Like I would love to tag with Rhea or Tegan again and make it like a real thing. Like I wish that we had our own tag belts, or I wish that, you know, the main roster tag belts just came to NXT more.
So we have next month the Survivor Series. If you were putting together your little Shotzi Survivor Series team, who would you put on it?
Ooh, on my team.
You can have an intergender one if you want.
Yes, okay. It would be I would put Kushida in there for sure. I'm a huge Kushida fan. I think he's perfection. Who else would I put in there? I think Ciampa is like super badass. I gotta have my girls Tegan and Rhea again. So that's my team. That
sounds like a really good team. And with 2020, it feels like it's not going to kind of be Halloween as usual this year. So if you had to create like a Shotzi's Halloween night in party, like firstly, what songs would we be hearing?
I love dancing, and my favorite music to dance to is the 80s. So you're gonna hear a lot of like rockin' 80s hair metal at my dance party. But like it's always a party at my house. Like I set up my lights to change different colors and flash. I got like so many speakers. I love just having dance parties just with my dog. So yeah, I'm definitely having a Halloween party by myself this year.
And what like scary Halloween movies would you be watching?
On Halloween, I keep it pretty classic. Every year I do all of the George Romero zombie movies. So I start with Day of the Dead, and then I watch Dawn of the Dead, and then Night of the Living Dead.
Wow. And lastly, like is as if we need it, but what is your final pitch for why we should watch Halloween Havoc Wednesday with yourself as the host?
Because it's going to be a spooky good time, and you got to see you got to see all my costumes. I think like that's reason enough to tune in, because every time I'm on screen, it's going to be something different.
Well, thank you so much, Shotzi, and I can't wait. I really can't wait to see your costumes.
Oh, thank you so much.